All right, we are live. Welcome everyone to another edition of Deconversion Stories. Hang on, I just realized something. I don't have my proper mic set up because I'm ridiculously stupid. So I'll do that just now, and I will plug in the right mic. That sounds better, right? Does it sound better? Let's see.
It does a bit, yeah.
Okay, then that's all right. Yeah. Okay, right. And the audio says, yeah, we are on the Yeti microphone. We're good. Okay. All right. So my bad there. Jesus Christ. I'm so out of it today. I was sick as dog yesterday. I was actually supposed to go on Atheist Morse channel yesterday, but I drank a lot the night before and I was really hungover yesterday. So I was like, dude, I don't. We'll have to reschedule. I can't do this today. So that's what we're going to end up doing anyways. But anyways, Edward, I talk to people about how they found their way out of their religious beliefs, as you know. So why don't we kind of get into your story about, when you were once a believer and how you found your way out of it and what led you to becoming the atheist that you are today.
Yes, well, that's a fascinating story, if I may say.
All right. I like fascinating.
Yes, I was born in Romania and born and raised as a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh boy, oh boy. Okay.
Yes, and a Jehovah's Witness in Eastern Europe is something else.
I bet.
Yes.
My mom's Romanian, by the way.
Oh.
I'm adopted, so I don't actually have any Romanian blood in me, but she's Romanian. Her parents are from Romania. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my family was a pretty big family in the Jehovah's Witness community. I supposed to be the fourth generation now, I think, of a Jehovah's Witness, but well, bad luck.
You weren't convinced, I assume.
Yeah, not very much. Yeah, but because we were the kind of the first in my town. I live in northern eastern Romania, so my city is quite big in there. So we were one of the first families of Jehovah's Witness in the city, and the prestige is great. The pressure of the prestige is I suppose I had to adhere to some rules and stuff like that in order to in the congregation for example and stuff and in the community, because I wasn't an ordinary one. I was the from the elite kind of
Are we talking like higher up on the?
No. My father was an elder, yeah, but usually the families in that community, they all look after each other, and the first ones, the original ones that converted the rest of them are kind of looked in a different light, if I may say. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had to be up the standards more than the ordinary ones. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. Keep up appearances, kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I was raised in that cult, if I may say, and I think that's the right word for it.
Oh yeah.
And there is a hell of a lot of pressures that I've been subjected to from the family, from the community, from the outside world, because being a Jehovah's Witness in Romania in, I don't know, in the 90s is not an easy thing. Romania has been out of communism in 1989, and after a long dictatorship of like 47 years, and suddenly the taste of freedom wasn't for everyone.
Right.
So Jehovah's Witnesses was always, or most of always, was regarded as a American imperialist kind of society, and all kinds of conspiracy theories about them. And I had to deal with that kind of mentality and that kind of stuff.
Well, hang on. If you had to deal with that kind of mentality, were people thinking that you were American or something?
No, but immediately after communism, most of the people embraced the freedom and the American taste. Michael Jackson went in 1991, Madonna and Metallica, and everything was good, but not on the level of religion. Religion was something like a manipulatory agent. By the way, in Romania, in Jehovah's Witnesses had some splinter groups. So Jehovah's Witnesses splintered from the main Jehovah's Witness line. I think it was in 1960s. I'm not sure about, but they changed something in their doctrine, in their what was it? Something about authority. But by the way, I deeply apologize by my accent and my English.
We can understand you.
That's brilliant. Thank you. And because the change happened during the communist era. The change was viewed as supporting the communist party, and the people rejected it as it is. So they formed their own group, and they stopped the literature and everything till 60s and something like that. So there was already some animosities between themselves, between Jehovah's Witnesses. So after 1989, when everything was possible to think from everyone. So I end up with a lot of stories about baby eating and orgies and stuff like that. And people were asking me what's happening in the Kingdom Hall and what's in there, and they, of course, they knew better than me most of the time.
So that hang on, these two people thought that the Jehovah's Witnesses were also eating babies, like atheists or something.
Yes.
Wow.
During those times, yeah. Because Romania is a highly religious country. Is I think still now it's 80% Orthodox religion, the bad sister of Catholicism. But so everything, including Romanian traditions and holidays and everything that means Romanian is intertwined with
religiosity.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Religious stuff. Yeah, but I must say, after the 90s, a lot of religious faiths have come to my city. In there, I've met a lot of evangelists, a lot of Pentecostals, a lot of Mormons. We had a temple in our city, which is quite remarkable. But yeah, religion was everywhere, and but nothing was worse than to be a Jehovah's Witness. That was my feeling about that. You could have been anything. You could have been an atheist or something. That was all right. But if you were a Jehovah's Witness, then that's bad.
Wow. So they're frowned upon even over and above atheists.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were, because Jehovah's Witnesses was the only one who knocked on them on their doors and bothered them with stuff. Then they've seen it that as a an attack on something, or and that's why they maybe, but I don't know. Yeah, and then what else would I say?
Well, I want to kind of know what sort of, I mean, obviously you believed what you believed when you were younger and being a Jehovah's Witness. So what of that sort of were you questioning that started the dominoes to fall over?
Well, as you know, Jehovah's Witnesses has a large variety of literature, and they have books for every week, for every year, for everything. So whenever I was just about to question something, I was always referred to some book from my library. So in time, as a child, I understood that whatever I think is true, or whatever I have doubt in something, that there must be in some book in there. So I wasn't really bothered about questioning in my early age, because I was convinced it's there, it's written on paper, so it must be true somewhere in there.
Right.
And but as the time passed, I was encouraged to go to high school and to university, mostly because my mother thought that I would be a good Jehovah's Witness because of that, and I will follow Bethel, and I will go on the higher on the higher levels on being a Jehovah's Witness. But in any way, higher education was highly recommended in Romania in those years. So, but contrary to my mom and my family, I followed history, and which is a bad thing to do as a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, I suppose so. Sorry, I'm muting my mic at the moment because there's a fucking train going by. So.
No way, I love trains.
Yeah, me too, but they're fucking noisy when they go by. He's got to honk every because there's all these crossroads and stuff. So he's got to give his warning. It seems to have mellowed out now, so we're good. I don't have to mute anymore. And all you hear the of all the cars, because it's literally right next to us. It's right outside our door. So, oh, see, there you go. Fucking horns. Goddamn trains. You get used to it. Like I'm used to it, but when I'm trying to do my shut up, when I'm trying to do my show, yeah, like you'll hear me, it becomes kind of a pain in the ass. But anyways, my apologies. Carry on.
Don't worry. Trains are lovely.
Not these ones. They're noisy as fuck.
Yeah, probably
we're right beside the main train yard where all the boats come in with like the cars and stuff like that. And these guys drive the cars onto these trains, and then they ship them across the river here. So if anyone ever wants a free car, I know where to get one.
Yeah. Yeah, so contrary to my mom's plans for me, I followed the faculty of history on my university journey.
Okay.
And then I went to archaeology, as that's what I like.
Ooh, cool. I like archaeology. That's cool.
Yeah, I specialize in late Bronze Age, which is like 3,000 to 4,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and in that time, I realized that the truth that I thought it's in the book somewhere in my library is not that viable, because I met a lot of wonderful people, a lot of minds, a lot of ideas, and I've expanded my understanding of the world and of the what's really up there. I mean, in the world.
Right.
Yeah, and one day in an archaeology dig, I was excavating a vase, a piece of pottery, and it was my sector, and I with my what's the name for it? My tools, my archaeology tools, and I was doing that, and suddenly I've seen the pottery and going around them, and more was revealed, and it was a in situ broke vase. So whoever put it there in time broke, but the person who put it there was having something like a ceremony, because we find some grains inside them, and
like a ritual of some kind, you figure?
like yeah.
Okay.
And that was the moment that I was felt that I was zooming out from whatever I was believing and whatever I was thinking about the world and about me, and I felt so humble, because I was the first person in 4,000 years that I've touched that vase, that pottery. I was the first one in 4,000 years, and I thought about this, like religion was the same back in the days. There was nothing more special now than it was then, and it will never be. It's
just different gods.
Yes, there's nothing supernatural about it. It's just about our ideas and our views, and it's our fingerprints that we leave on this world. Is not someone else. But that was the point that I realized that the world has more to offer to me than my beliefs and my childhood, my whatever my family offered. Because my family was very supportive, but they still was in the religious side, and I must appreciate that I wasn't shunned, mostly because I wasn't actually being baptized as a Jehovah's Witness. I managed to not being baptized. Yeah. So yeah, that was good. And then I found recently Lloyd Evans' channel, and his talks about the cultish thing and the how bad is this cult in reality, and how manipulative is in and that made me realize how lucky I was in some way, that I didn't end up pretty bad after my Jehovah's Witness experience. And
so you don't think there was any like traumatic stuff for you to have to work your way through then?
Well, yes, there is. Yeah, but the pressure from everything from there, the standards that I have to, the idea that I have to be in some way to please someone, that is still with me, and I can't get out of that, because I have to be somehow, so I can't be myself at any point, and that makes me weird in some ways.
Well, so a lot of people feel they have to behave a specific way while they're still involved, right? Even if they're starting to lose their faith, they still feel like they have to. A lot of people can't not behave a certain way, otherwise they could be harmed too, right? So
that's right. Yes. What else could be? Probably because the cult is with so many rules and so many standards and stuff like that. I felt I felt a bit pressured by my family, and when I was questioning stuff, and when I was in doubt, and my father used to say, "My house, my rules," and as long as you're under this roof, you will be what I am, and stuff like
Yep.
that. And
I heard shit
yeah.
like that too.
And probably now that I'm thinking, because of that, I married a little bit younger than I should be, maybe. So in my mind, I thought, oh, it's your family, your rules, and I'm gonna make my family my rules then as well. So
I'll show you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
What else?
so
Yeah.
I take it you don't live at home anymore, obviously.
No, 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 no. I live in UK now.
Mhm.
I come to UK with my family, with my wife. We have a child now. We have a 4-year-old daughter. She's a
Awesome.
gorgeous piece of sunshine. Yeah, yeah.
But and so does your family, is your wife a believer or is she kind of a
No,
secular? No?
that's another thing, because I went from something to something else. She was an Orthodox believer. She's not an atheist. And I had to baptize to Orthodoxism
Uh-oh.
at some point, yeah. And I had to baptize my daughter as well. But in my mind at the moment, I said, well, I don't believe this, so I'm not losing anything. It's for them. It's for them. Their way of their happiness, maybe in some sort. I wanted to please them,
Okay.
but I don't think that went well.
Why is that?
Well, because I became more active with my atheism, more vocal, more, and they well, why did you baptize then? Well, because you made me to, and
Well,
that created some animosities between us.
oh, I see. So she's still Orthodox, your wife? Or?
Yes, yes. By the way, we don't live together at the moment.
Okay. Okay. So you guys are separated right now.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've been separated from my wife since 2003. So
That's a long time.
yeah. Well, the thing is she said she had all the forms because we were just going to annul it because I caught her cheating on me with other guys and doing coke and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, no, this wasn't in the agreement. And so she had me sign all these papers for the divorce or annulment or whatever. And that's the last I saw of her. And then somebody told me that, oh, I think she ripped those up and never actually submitted them. So technically, you're still married. So to test this theory out, I know that eHarmony will look into your background if you go and make a profile. So I made a profile, and this big blue sign comes up and says, "You're married." And I'm like, oh, geez, okay, I guess I'm still fucking married then.
What a surprise.
But I haven't heard from her since then, so I don't really care. And I've been in multiple relationships since then, so married. I'm an adultering son of a bitch then. Oh well. So, do you guys think you're going to be able to work this out, or do you think your differences are too much, and you're probably
Well, it's complicated at the moment. We'll see. We'll see in time.
Yeah, I don't want to dig too much into your personal stuff like that. I mean, yeah, because you don't have to share anything you don't want to, Edward. That's for sure. But how did your family take it when did you ever tell them that you consider yourself an atheist, or?
Oh, first of all, my family find out that I baptized to Orthodoxism, and that went to the south really bad.
I bet.
Yeah, and my mom always said to me, "You can be whatever you want, but you have to be a good one." I mean, she meant if I would want to be an Orthodox, I have to be a good Orthodox or not at all. That's the Jehovah's Witness philosophy. You're either a good Jehovah's Witness or you're not.
Right.
So,
Sure.
so she didn't understand what I was doing and why I was doing, and because basically it was pure love or something like that. And then when I became more vocal with my atheism, they didn't say much, except when I post some memes against Jehovah's Witnesses. That was a bit hurtful for them, because if you didn't like Jehovah's Witnesses, then you shouldn't be angry on them. And, that it makes no difference to me.
Who says you're angry? You're just not one of them anymore. You don't
Exactly.
have to be angry. They feel that you're angry about it or something?
Well, no, not now. I was a little bit. I think a few years ago.
Yeah, I think we all go a little bit through that.
Yeah. When I was experiencing more atheistic views and Facebook pages and I don't know, websites that and I like them and I share them, and that my Facebook list includes all my family, and
sure,
like 98% of them are Jehovah's Witnesses, and they were, what's that? Yeah. But in the end, they all appreciated me, and they shook their shoulders, and that's it. There's nothing much we can do more now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you became unconvinced of your beliefs, it's going to be pretty tough to reconvince you to join them, I find. And when I hear people say, "Oh, well, I used to be an atheist," and I know this sounds a lot like the no true Scotsman fallacy, but I always go, I really wonder if you really considered yourself one, because most people I know that find their way away from a belief system of a religion of some kind tend to not go back once they're clear of that. Most of the time, I'd say probably almost everyone I've ever met that became an atheist had never thought of going back. I can't actually think of anyone that's had doubts of atheism enough to go back to it. So
that's right.
So I don't know. When I hear that, like from people that have gone back to, well, I guess I can't say I've never spoken to anyone because I do know one person that consider themselves to be agnostic, more so atheist than agnostic. And they had an experience that blew them away, and they felt like they were on the wrong track, and they ended up becoming a born-again Christian from my old city. That just kind of popped into my head. I completely forgot about her. But yeah, she kind of fell back into it. But she was raised mostly secular anyways, so she didn't really have a lot of religion pushed on her, but she had this experience that made her believe that Jesus was somehow real or something. I have no idea. I'm like, well, how come fucking that's never happened for me? I guess he doesn't like me. But I was raised Jewish. We never believed in fucking Jesus anyway, so.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's still yet to come.
Well, yeah, Jesus. They think the Messiah is still coming. I'm going, you guys are going to be waiting for a long time.
That's right. That's another thing that made me think, because I follow the history faculty, and so I had access to a lot more books and material to read, and I found out a lot of stuff that didn't agree with the
Scriptures.
Yeah, with the Jehovah's doctrine and prophecies, and then I found out about Charles T. Russell's pyramidology and all his woo kind of stuff of trying to put his 1914 on the spot. With the fall of Jerusalem in 607, which is in fact in 587, and that raised a lot of questions and made me really consider.
So what other kind of cool shit have you found doing your archaeology?
Oh, a lot of stuff: walls, stones, bones.
Cool.
We found a ring, a bronze ring, which is, by the way, bronze in a Bronze Age sit is 10 times more valuable than gold. Gold, if we find gold in a dig, in a Bronze Age dig, it's nothing. It's
Well, it's worth whatever it weighs now, but that's about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, you're right. Bronze was very sought after, because that's what they made their weapons out of at the time, and so I mean that was the metal of choice, and it was fairly easy to make bronze. So once they figured out how to do it, right? So
yeah,
but yeah, you put those bronze swords up against modern day steel swords, and they're going to lose big time, because they're soft as fuck. So.
Yeah, we had a lot of great times in my archaeology times, and I went to with my professor and scanned a fortress, a Dacian fortress, actually 3 of them, with scanners and all kinds of robots, magnetron, satellite imaging, and that
Cool.
That was fun to watch after, but the actual pushing the cart into the ditches is not that fun at all.
Yeah, the hard work's got to happen in order for the payoff, right? So
exactly, yeah, it was fun. It was good.
But once you get the artifacts and the items, that you're able to free them from their, sleep, we'll say, their period sleep from when they were first used, and you get them out there and you brush them off and clean them up. That's just like you're looking at history right there, right? You're looking at things that humans made way back then, and that, to me, that's just awe-inspiring.
Exactly, yeah. It's basically spoken to you. It tells you a lot of stories.
Oh yeah,
and that's I think that's how religion started, with storytelling around campfire and
oral traditions.
Exactly.
Yep.
And how can we? I bet there were a lot of annoying kids around there, like why the sky is blue, why the sun is there,
oh, yeah.
and someone had to give some explanation for that.
Yeah, and they didn't have scientific ones, at least not then, so they had to come up with whatever seemed to be the best answer for them at the time. So
exactly,
and if we could, well, where does lightning come from? Oh, well, you make the gods angry and they throw it down at us.
That's right.
I see. Well, what about the volcano? Well, that's a different god, and you pissed him off, so he's going to blow it up. Yeah, sure.
It's also amazing that we can think about that today. We can conceptualize the idea of our idea of God, and our idea of the higher being, which is, I think that's from our hunter-gatherer
mentality.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, there's someone there that's looking after us. That's why we're safe. That's why we're good. And
yeah, I think It's probably a part of our survival tactics at the time.
Exactly, yeah.
Because being human, we don't like not having answers for things. So we'll even make shit up if we need to, clearly.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, being hunter-gatherers, other things came out of that too, right? Not trusting shadows, not trusting,
Correct.
you know, all kinds of stuff, like things that we can't see ourselves could hurt us. So we've developed all kinds of real weird superstitions because of stuff like that.
That's
like
right.
Goblins and ghosts and succubi and incubi and all kinds of weird shit.
Well, we can only imagine what we can produce in our minds to keep ourselves docile sometimes and quasi safe. Yeah. But it's amazing how much we understood so far, and I can't wait of how much we will understand in the future, and it's very, very awe-inspiring to look forward.
Oh yeah.
In our last 200 years, we have I don't want to say accomplished many things, because a lot of bad things happened in our last
Oh yeah, of course.
years, but we did so much as well.
I mean, in 200 years, we went from, you know, wagons and carts to fucking computers in our hands.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
And technology just gets exponentially more and more.
Exactly.
Too, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, who knows what we're going to come up with in the near future. It's a pretty exciting time to be, because all kinds of. I was watching. Are you familiar with T-Jump? My friend Tom?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
He had sort of a debate, I guess. Although it was very amicable. The two of them were very pleasant to each other. I didn't see the whole thing, but he was talking to a theist, and they were going on about, well, we can't know what's going on in people's heads, and of course I'm working and I can't really type anything and I can't really participate. But I'm sitting there going, actually, we have a technology that it's still fresh. I first saw it, I think, a couple of years ago, but they're still working on it. But you can set up an EEG type machine to people's brains, and you can let them go through their thoughts, and they can feed that imagery or that the brain waves into a computer, which can decipher it into images.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this is something that they are actually working on. So you'll be able to, at some point, who knows if it'll be in our lifetimes, but at some point, we'll be able to record our dreams, and it'll come through in imagery. And they can see all kinds of wild shit that goes on in our heads while we're sleeping. Because half the time, I don't fucking remember when I'm dreaming. But that's some fucking seriously cool technology. If you can think about something hard enough and it shows up on a computer screen. Although when I first saw this special on this sort of thing, the image was really blurry, and, you know, it almost looks like Prophet of Zod's face, but with a little bit of an outline of an image of some kind on it.
Yes.
But being able to do just that alone is like, whoa, that's like a step in the right direction of being able to transfer our thoughts into some form of imagery. And I think that that's unbelievable. And I can't wait to see where they go with that. You're not going to be able to hide your thoughts anymore, people.
Yes. Do you think that because we can write our thoughts in that matter, do you think teleportation would be possible?
Teleportation? Well, that's a whole other ball of wax. Do I think teleportation would be possible? I don't see why not. I mean, if you go with the science that they use on Star Trek for how it works, that's a lot of information to break down and then reassemble. And of course, they have these fancy little things in the you know, like the pattern buffers and the what are they, the Heisenberg uncertainty principle that they throw in there. And you know, there's programs that make up for that. so that it tries to make sure that all your molecules are put back in the right place. And of course, we've seen episodes where that kind of goes awry, where then they end up with like two Rikers. You know, you got Thomas Riker and you've got the regular Riker. So now there's two of them because of some weird pattern fuck up, and you split them into two people. And then you've got the Tuvix episode of Voyager where Neelix and Tuvok go, and then they are merged into one being.
Yeah,
which was a really cool. That was, you know. So, oh hey Randy. I think teleportation, they can do it already at the quantum level. They can do it. But the problem is, it's just not really a teleportation because you still got the original photon or whatever it was they used at the original point, and then it's duplicated in another point. And now they're thinking that it may even be a completely different photon, but because how do you tell the difference? They're all fucking photons. They're all the same. But you know, I mean, will it happen?
That'd
be cool. Oh yeah.
Cool, yeah.
I mean, you saw The Fly, right? The movie The Fly with Goldblum, and he goes in there and he comes out and he starts, you know, starts turning into a fly. If something like that goes wrong, you're fucked, right? So who knows? But it's an interesting technology idea. Will it ever? I don't think it'll happen in years of my lifetime. Literally, I think we're still hundreds of years away from something like that, to be honest.
And I don't know the logistics of this kind of transportation on Earth. I mean, everyone will pop up everywhere at any time, right? And that's not gonna be good.
They'll be bumping into each other. Oh shit! Sorry. Right? You know, how do you deal with that?
That's right.
It's actually a very good point, Edward. I got to tell you. By the way, I've been meaning to ask you now. Do you have a light in your room that changes color?
Yes.
That's what I thought, because you're going red and yellow and bluey and greeny and white and purpley, and it's like it's your mood lamp. Okay, I see. And people love your hat, by the way. So
thank you very much.
So do I. I got to find one that looks like kind of like that, but more of the fedora type.
Fedora type, yeah.
Yeah, because
I want one of them.
I'm putting together my my Rorschach costume for Halloween this year. I got the mask, and it's the one where you wear it and you breathe into it and it changes. So it's kind of cool. And I'm working on I've got the pants already. I've got a pair of shoes I can use. I've got the gloves. I got the scarf. He's got his kind of creamy scarf that he wears, and I got to get the overcoat and the hat now. So once I get those things, I'll have my Rorschach costume for Halloween this year, which will be cool.
It's gonna be fun, yeah.
Oh yeah. Then I don't have to always be going as Jason from Friday the 13th. Or Freddy Krueger. I have the blade hand thing. It's plastic, but it's fun. I went 1 year as Jason, and I was a part of a friend of mine's Halloween decoration thing that he does, right? And he put the candy bowl, this big candy bowl, right next to the fog machine. So he had a dry ice machine, and it was just filled up with fog. And I could see people coming, but they couldn't really see me because I was down in the fog. And every time some kids were reaching, I'd stand up with the Jason mask and a big plastic knife going, oh, and they go, ah! I just pop up out of nowhere and scare the crap out of them, right? It was a lot of fun.
See, I missed a lot of things from this world in my almost 20 years of cultish behavior, more
they don't do Halloween.
They don't do Halloween. They don't do birthdays. They don't do Christmas. Any kind of holidays. I
have a question. I worked for a Jehovah's Witness, and he literally thought I was the devil. We'll put it that way. But I worked for him as a painter drywaller for years. And I asked him, I said, what's up with you guys not celebrating birthdays? He goes, well, why would you celebrate something like that? You've not achieved anything at birth. Like, you achieved coming to life. That's pretty good. You made
right.
it into this existence. That's pretty good. I mean, so it's not a celebration of your achievement, you fucking dolt. It's a celebration that you were given life into our world. That's
Exactly.
so.
Yeah.
It's the anniversary of when you came into being. Like, I don't understand. And they don't celebrate Christmas either. And I thought that was bizarre when I first heard that. But I only knew one Jehovah's Witness family in my neighborhood growing up. So that's where I learned about that. But yeah, it just blew me away as weird.
Well, yeah, Christmas in Eastern Europe, it's pretty religious. It's not very secular-ish American style Xmas. It's a big thing in there. Yeah.
You put Christ back in Christmas. You realize that the X is actually taken from the Greek spelling of Christ, right? Fucking morons.
That's right.
But anyway, yeah. So they're not excluding him; they're just shortening it. That's all it is. Besides,
they have a silly argument for not celebrating birthdays, just because birthdays appear to be of bad luck in the Bible twice, and that's it.
What? Really? Bad luck?
Yeah.
Well, if you're born back then, that's pretty bad luck anyways. Right? I mean, who knows? You could die anytime. Taken out by a stray arrow or some sort of disease that, like you could die from a fucking a toothache, for crying out loud back then. That's so right. Bad luck.
Yeah. They guide their life entirely on one single book, and that's bad on so many levels.
Oh yeah.
Besides the blood transfusion things and stuff like that.
That's fucked up. And I did a special episode with my buddy Not Your Witness. He's also a Jehovah's Witness or ex-Jehovah's Witness. And he had me on his show. We were talking about the denial of blood donations. And I said, I'll never understand that. Like, why wouldn't you want to help save the life of somebody? I mean, I now get texts from Canadian Blood Services every time my blood goes out of the Canadian Blood Services to a hospital where it's going to be put to use. Your blood's on its way to save someone's life, or possibly. They say that every donation could possibly save up to 3 lives. So consider that. Like, wouldn't your deity be like, oh, you're going to save some lives? Bravo! Good for you. That's excellent. That's doing my work. That's doing God's work.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And you think, but I heard that it's because that you're not supposed to remove any part of yourself. It's
the Bible command is not to eat blood, and they literally took that as a command.
Wow.
Also, Lloyd Evans said because they are limited to four parts, not 4 kinds of cells from the blood. So you should not donate that. But in those cells are the white cells. So you should not donate white cells. But at birth,
fucking racists.
Yeah.
Damn blood purists.
At birth,
are your hemoglobins or whatever, the healing ones, right? So that's what.
Yeah.
When you
the hemoglobin are the red cells.
Sorry, you're right.
Leukocytes or something like that.
That's the word I was looking for. I just got them confused. My hemoglobin's always right up there, 150 plus usually. So
that's good. Yeah, and at birth in the mother's breast milk, there is a lot of white cells that are being transported to the baby and ingested by the baby. So every single Jehovah's Witnesses in the world had a blood transfusion at least once. So
what? I knew a family whose child, I think they were 4 or 5 at the time. This is going back some years. And the only thing that would have saved that child was a blood transfusion, but the family refused it.
Oh yeah.
And of course, the child died.
There are many cases in the world like this. Many people die because of that.
I look at that as basically murder. You just murdered your kid.
It is, yeah.
Right? Because you could have saved him, but no.
That's right.
I have good blood stories too. Like my dad was Jewish, and he got a call at 3:00 in the morning one night. Mr. Bernstein, we need you to come down to the hospital. We are going to do a direct transfusion to you and to our patient who requires O negative blood, and we are out of it at the hospital because O negative blood is rarer, but and they didn't have any in stock. He's like, oh yeah, sure. So he gets there, and he gets prepped, and he gets wheeled into the room, and he looks over at the gentleman that he's going to be giving his blood to, and he's a Muslim.
Ooh.
So this Muslim is now about to receive Jew blood, you know? And the Muslim said, or the Muslim fella said, did they tell you that you were going to donate to a Muslim? He goes, oh yeah. And you're Jewish. He goes, oh yeah. I'm also human, and so are you.
Exactly.
This is my duty to do that. So, and the guy apparently broke into tears. He couldn't believe that a Jew wanted to save the life of a Muslim.
Yes.
But of course, my dad was fairly secular. He ate bacon, for Christ's sake. I mean, if heaven is real, and he goes up there, I can just see, like Peter at the gates going, Mr. Bert, no, sorry, buddy, you ate bacon, can't come in. Like, can you see it? Like, what? I also had ham. Let me in. I've got a hockey stick and I'll use it. He was a big hockey fan, so.
I'm a blood donor as well.
Are you? Excellent. I don't know if you can be a member of my group in England, but
I did it once in Romania. It was like 8 years ago.
Okay. Do you do it regularly though?
No, just once.
Oh, okay. You should consider it, man. People, what's your blood type?
I think it's B3. B3 is that a blood type?
B3. No, that's a vitamin. There's B negative and B positive, and then there's
B positive. Then
B positive.
B positive.
That's a fairly rare one, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. I will consider them.
I mean, you can, without any danger to yourself, you can donate. They say the best schedule is every 56 days, so almost 2 months, and that gives your body enough time to reproduce the blood cells. And you go back. That's what I do every 56 days, unless I have to move it a week, like I had to do for my vacation. But every 56 days or so, I'm in there donating. Myself and Randolph, which my buddy, we're both in there donating. Hey, Dallas, I see you. So, and I love doing it. Okay. And my dad and I meant to do it together for many, many years, but our schedules never merged. Like I couldn't get the afternoons off to go to donate with him because he always did Wednesday afternoons. He had a deal with where he worked. Being the manager, it was easy. He could fuck off, go donate blood, have lunch, and then come back. And he did platelets where they take your whole blood out, remove the platelets, and then put the blood back. So it takes twice as long to do that, or at least an hour, they say. So he got long lunch breaks. But my work schedules never worked with his, so I could never do it. So when he passed away, I said, fuck it, damn it. I'm getting in there and I'm going to start a group in his honor. And, we did that and we broke all his records, although they said I was crazy and that would never happen. But we did it. The first single person started blood donor group in Canada for that to ever happen, by the way. Pretty proud of that. But anyway, so and I go in there on the regular every couple of months with Randolph, and we'll walk in there in our smiley faces, but we can't see them now because they make you wear masks, right? Of course, coronavirus. So yeah, but it's a lot of fun. We have a great time. The nurses love us. They know us, but it's like when Norm walks into Cheers, they go, Neil, Randolph, right? Like we walk in there and they're like, hey, right? So it's a lot of fun to do. And just knowing that it's going to help someone.
Going to help people, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And, that's not the only thing that I do to help. Well, I haven't done it for over a year now, but I used to walk the stray animals that they have over the SPCA. I used to go out with one of the kids in the building who's moved since then, which is probably why I don't do it anymore. But we'd go out and we'd walk the dogs with them, right? Mm-hmm. So I did that, and I did volunteer work for some of the youth sports around here for a while. I did volunteer work at a day camp, and to go and work with kids because kids are awesome. So, and they think I'm hysterical. You're like the coolest adult ever. Because I play them my music and stuff like that, and I show them all my toys, and they're like, "You have the Lego Millennium Falcon? I hate you!" That kind of thing. And they think it's great. But so, do your folks ever try to sort of reconvince you to become part of the JW fold again?
They try, yeah. They always try. They always in our conversations there is always it would have been better if you would have been Jehovah's Witness, don't you think? Or come to the commemoration or listen to this, and they send me articles about stuff and
Watchtower. Yay!
Yeah.
Well, do you ever go with them to a service or anything like that, just to sort of make them happy and keep them shut down for a little while? Or,
well, I live in the UK for like 5 years now, so they are in Romania. I'm in the UK. We don't see us very much. And but even when I was in Romania, I haven't been into a Kingdom Hall like for a good 11 years now.
Good for you. and I mean that in the most positive way. Good for you, because I swear every time I go by a church or a synagogue or a mosque, I feel that side of my body that's beside it to start to heat up, like I'm about to burst into flames or something, right? So because my mom wanted me, I mean, I've been in the synagogues, of course, having a Jewish family, for things like weddings or graduation ceremonies.
Exactly, yeah.
Or funerals or whatever, like my dad's funeral, right? And I was okay. I didn't break into flames. I think God's letting me do it. not that I actually believe that, people. I'm kidding. But yeah, he's like, okay, I'll let you in here this time because it's it's a funeral. You just lost someone you care about. And I'm gonna yell at him when he gets up here that he didn't raise his kid right. Yeah, fuck you, dickhead. But anyways, my whole thing about that, anyways, was I was born to Christians, given up for adoption, and raised Jewish. If that's part of God's plan, then His plan's fucked up because he ended up putting me in a religion that doesn't believe in Jesus. So what kind of a plan is that? If you're trying to convince me that your son is the only way to you, you screwed up. Oh, mysterious ways. Yeah, fuck you. That's a line in a U2 song, all right? She moves in mysterious ways. But
that's right.
Yeah, that's about yeah. Who cares? But anyways, Edward, what do you say? Can you still hang out for a little while?
Yes, sure, definitely.
Grab a cup of coffee. I know it's late where you are, but
don't worry.
Rory's still with us, and he's in the same fucking country as you, so you have no excuse, mister.
That's right. Well,
it was great chat with you, dude, and I want to thank you for joining me today.
I thank you. It's been fun, and I much appreciate it.
Oh, sure. You were worried about being nervous, so how did that turn out?
Yes, I'm still nervous.
What? Come on.
No,
You're shattering my image here, Edward.
No. I'm good. You managed to shatter all my shivering and stuff. So.
Your expectations. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
5 minutes in, I got this. No problem. That's usually what I hear. But guys, we're going to go into an after party. It's going to be a shorter one. I've only got about an hour. And then my mom is in the midst of moving from her old place to her new place, and she has to be there by the end of July. So slowly but surely, I'm going up there almost daily now, taking a few boxes over for her because she's old and can't do that shit. So we're all being deceived by Lord Voldemort. Thanks, Prince Vegeta or however the fuck. I should know that too because I watched Dragon Ball. But anyway, we're going to get into an after party. So Glass, stop with the fucking super chats. I don't see them. Okay, you stop until I figure it out, and I'll let everyone know. Once I talk to Google and they give me all the fucking money they owe me, I will. I'll let you know, and then you guys can start doing super chats. But don't do super chats right now. Just tell me if you want to be in. I'll send you a fucking link. But anyways, so if anyone would like to hang out with Edward and I for about another hour or so, let me know, and I will send you a link to join us via Twitter or Facebook if you're not on Twitter, but you follow me on Facebook or whatnot. And with this whole COVID-19 thing going on, you guys, remember to be well and be safe, and above all, be kind. And like I always say at the end of these chats, like the late, great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we will see you guys next time. Oh, by the way, my guest on Wednesday is Nate Brody, so be sure to tune into that one. We'll talk to you then.